Okay, hi guys. So welcome back to my channel. And today, as you saw in the title of this video, we're going to go through all of the books that I read in April. And you may be wondering, what the hell does 10 plus book mean? Because I don't know what it means either. Like when I see people being like the books that I read and they put a plus after the number, I'm like, what does the plus mean, babe? Like you either read 10 in my case or you read 11. What does the plus mean? The plus means a DNF in this case. I DNF the book. And it doesn't seem fair to count it as a whole read, like as if I read 11 books, but I did get more than 50% into that baby boy, and I think I deserve to count it as a read and to talk about it and to, yeah. So that's the plus here. Like I read 10 and a half books, and that's weird to say. So I read 10 plus books, which sounds so much prettier. And yeah, so in case you were wondering, but yeah, and you're going to see, like, this month has been something. I am currently, just so you have an idea, I'm currently recording a getting out of a reading slump blog. So that's so you understand what we are going to go through throughout this wrap up. But let's not get ahead of ourselves and let's start. So the first book, I'm gonna go chronological here because you need to understand this is a story that I'm going to tell you. So the first book that I read this month is probably the best book that I've read this year. Great Daisy Hates The Great Undoing, and it was indeed my great undoing. Oh my god, I need to get something tattooed. I've already said this, but I'm going to get something tattooed on me for those books. I don't know when. I'm gonna get a tattoo soon. So stay tuned for that. And if you're watching this, mom, dad, I'm getting a tattoo, okay? But it's not for this book, not just yet. But I'm going to get something because oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what a book, guys! Like there are not enough stars in the fucking sky for me to give this book. Like it just doesn't exist. Like I have this category. I think many people do the 6 stars category, and so far every Magnolia Parks, and like yeah, every book in this universe has been a 6 stars. But then this book came and made me rethink everything that I know about myself, because what do I give this book? How do I rate it? Like it's unrateable because it's so good. It's so I wouldn't change a fucking comma in this book. Like what are you talking about? What do you mean? Like what happened in this book, guys? Oh my god. I have not read it yet. Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home, the last book, because I'm scared. Like I want to read it. I do. Very much so, in fact. And I'm going to read it soon, probably, certainly, surely. But at the same time, I'm scared because I don't want to say goodbye to these characters. And but there has to be another Daisy Hates book, right? Right? I know. I don't know. She published The Long Way Home last year, right? And then this year she's published another book that has nothing to do with Magnolia, which I am going to read, obviously, because this author, like Jessa Hastings, has come into my life and wrecked it. So now I need to read everything by her ever published. So I think it's Never, and then this new one. I don't know if there's any more books by her. If there are, tell me, because I'm interested. Um, but yeah, I don't know how to talk about this book except to tell you that I'm obsessed. It destroyed me, healed me. It made me think. Like it made me wonder about myself. Like it made me reconsider what I thought I liked in reading. And oh my god, like if you are, please, if you are wondering whether you should read Magnolia Parks or no, like if you've seen people talking about these books and you're like, should I maybe try it out? Do give them a chance. Give them a chance, please. I didn't think I was going to like them. I just grabbed Magnolia Parks just because I needed something to read before Onyx Storm came out. And what a book, what a universe, what a writing style. I'm obsessed. I don't think there's anything else that I can say about these books, and I cannot really tell you what The Great Undoing is about without spoiling the first Daisy Hates and the other Magnolia Parks books. But just so you know, in these books, specifically in the Daisy Hates books, we follow Daisy, Julian, who's her brother, and Christian, who is the male love interest. and they are part, the three of them, they belong to criminal families, obviously different criminal families. Julian and Daisy are Hates, and then Christian and his brother belong to another criminal family in London. And it's amazing. It's amazing. Cannot, yeah, read them. Really, really, please. So after I read that masterpiece of a book, and because I was recording a continuing series, which is already up, but it's already up by the way. So if you want to see me read this book, if you want to see me experience all of these live, then go watch that blog. And the two next books that I'm going to talk about were also, well, the next book that I'm going to talk about was also read in that blog, and that is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the no, Snow's book in the Hunger Games universe. And I like that one a lot as well. I gave it 4.75 stars, and it was good, guys. I did not expect it to be good. I don't know why. When it came out, I don't remember in which year it was that it was released. I don't remember, but I know that when it came out, I wasn't intrigued by it. It was like another installment, like another author with a big trilogy trying to milk it. I don't know, like, you know, when people start to release prequels and sequels, and they just destroy the original masterpiece that they had created. I thought that Snow's book was going to be that. And then the movie came out and people were talking about it really well, and I thought about maybe reading it, but never too seriously. But since Sunrise and Ripping came out in March, I was like, okay, this is serious. Because Haymitch, I am interested in Haymitch. I'm going to read Haymitch's book, but I want to read, like, if I'm going to read Haymitch's book, then I need to read Snow's. And I picked it up and it was really good. It's I think everybody knows what this book is about, but just in case you don't, it's the 10th Hunger Games. So they are trying to engage people into watching the Hunger Games, and in order to do that, this year they are going to, for the first time ever, um, put the figure of the mentor. So they've chosen 24 kids from the capital to mentor one of the 10 of the 24 tributes. And Snow gets the girl from District 12, who's called Lucy Greybird. And it's their relationship, because Snow really needs for her to make an impression and for him to win, because they are offering a prize for the mentor who wins, and they're going to pay for their college, and he cannot afford to go to college, so he needs to win that prize. And it's the relationship, the first, it's divided in three parts, and the first part is like the relationship, then the games, and then the consequences after the games. And it's really good. People were telling me that the ending felt rushed, and it is rushed. Like, a lot of things happen in like just two chapters in the end, I think. But it didn't feel forced to me or anything. Like, I don't think it came out of nothing or anything. And I think you really see him become the villain. We hate him. We hate him to we know him to be. We know him to be, yeah. So you really see him become the villain we hate and we know him to be. And it's really good. I gave it 4.75 stars, because it didn't quite feel like a 5-star, but it's really, really, really good. And then I read Sunrise on the Reaping. And this book, I did not read in the continuing series because I've also been recording reading new releases of this year, and that video will come out soon. But I got in a reading slump after finishing Sunrise on the Reaping because it was so good. It was so good that it just didn't. It just made me not want to pick up anything that remotely reminded me of like fantasy or dystopian or like anything complicated. Like my brain just needed to chill because it is so good, but it is so heartbreaking. It destroyed me, that book. Like, I was destroyed by Daisy Hates, and then Snow's book was like, okay. I think I'm safe here. I was emotional through the book, but it didn't wreck me. And then Haymitch's book just sealed the deal. I think like what Daisy Hates started, Sunrise and Reaping finished, and I have not been able to pick anything serious since I've been reading books because I've read almost 11 books this month, and these are just the first three, but nothing serious, nothing that requires brain energy. It's so good. Hamish book, so good. It's his games, the second quarter quells, so the 50th games, in which twice the amount of tributes went into the game. So instead of 44 tributes fighting in the Hunger Games, we have 48. And I fucking hate snow. That's all that I have to say. Like, I was reading his book and I was like, maybe I remember him worse than he actually is from the Hunger Games. Like, maybe since he's Katniss villain, I remember him being worse than he actually is. And then I read Hamish's book and I'm like, no, he sucks. He actually sucks. I hope he dies slowly and suffering, and I hope he feels pain every single day of his life, because what a jerk. I hate him so much. So much. Qué hijo de puta desgraciado. Wow. So yeah, but Hamish, I love him. He deserves more. He deserves better. I cried so much. So much. Whenever the blog of me reading New Releases is out, you'll see me crying, pulling my eyes out over that book. Oh my god, 5 stars, by the way. I don't know if I've said it. 5 stars, obviously, without hesitation. Um, and then, as I said, like, I just couldn't pick up anything serious. I started to read Fearless for this blog, and I just couldn't. I couldn't concentrate. I didn't care about what they were telling me, and I don't want to read Fearless feeling like I don't care about it. So I decided to pick up an romance, because these ones, sports romance, are usually my jam. Like, they get me out of a reading slump so fast, usually. So I picked up Head in the Game. I don't remember the name of the author. I gave it 3 stars, and it's basically about a coach and the star player of his team. But he has like a really bad reputation. He gets in trouble a lot. So they have this dynamic in which, like, the trainer, like the coach, is really on him to get his shit straight and his stack in a row, in order for him to be like to embrace his potential, because he's really good, but he has a really bad reputation, and that's going to endanger his future. So it's their relationship. You know the drill. Like, sports romance, it's obviously spicy, so if you're not into that, then don't pick it up. But if you want something quick, easy, fun, easy to read, no brain power required, and that is actually like well written, I would pick it up. And this is part of like a series, but I don't know what the deal is. I don't know how they are connected, because the next book I also read, it's called Man On, and not Manon, as in the queen from Throne of Glass. No, not our not our queen, but Man On. Um, yeah. So it's about soccer. The first one was about American football, and then this one is about European football, or soccer for Americans. And this was in a different college. The characters from the first book didn't appear in the second, so I don't really know why they are connected, but they are part of like a series. And in this second book, I liked this one better than I liked the first, because it has a lot of religious trauma, and you would be like, why are you enjoying? I don't know. It gave it like a depth to it that I was not expecting from a silly, goofy sports romance. Like, it's not a silly, goofy sports romance, which is what I thought it was going to be. And it actually made an impact on me. Like, I've actually been thinking about it. So they are stepbrothers, and one of them was raised by his grandpa in this like highly religious cult. And when his grandpa dies, he is sent to live with his mom, and his mom is married to this guy, and he has a son, so that's why they are stepbrothers, and they are the same age. And this is again college sport romance. Um, but I don't know. It reminded me at times of A Little Life, with all the like heavy religious trauma. I was so confused when it started to remind me of A Little Life, because I was like, why am I reading this silly, goofy romance? And it's reminded me of A Little Life, which is probably like the saddest, heaviest book that I've ever read, and I hope to ever read, because that book, oh my god. But yeah, if you I don't know if you're intrigued, pick it up. It's interesting to say the least. I liked it, not my favorite thing ever, but it's good. It's also spicy, so keep that in mind. And yeah, 3.75 stars. Like it was actually good. And after that, I still was in the mood for silly, woofy romances, so I picked up Garon Park, which is part of a trilogy which is called From Nothing. And in this book, the two main characters live in a trailer park, and they both ran in like motocross. Do you say run, drive, compete? I don't know, in motocross, and they are rivals. Like they hate each other. They've always hated each other. They are always at each other's throats. Like oh my god, they hate each other so much. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then uh, one of I don't remember how he was called, Devon. I think he was one of the laughing, yeah, Devon and Maddox. So Devon's father beats him like really bad, and he has nowhere to go. So he goes to Maddox's trailer trying to find his older brother, because his older brother and Maddox's older brothers are best friends. So he goes to his trailer to try to find his older brother, but he's not there, and who is there is Maddox. So he heals him and he takes care of him, and that leaves both of them really confused. Like, what happened here? Why we are always trying to kill each other? Why did you take care of me? And why did I like it? And why am I thinking about you now? And not in like I want to murder you way, but in like I may have feelings for you now way. Like, what is happening? And they are really confused throughout the book, which is really funny. And their older brothers, they are called Nate and Xavier, and they are so funny, and they are always meddling in their younger brothers' lives. So they're always trying to push them together, and they are always making like plots to push them together and to make them admit their feelings, which is really funny. As I said, it's 3 books. I've only read the first so far because it does end, like it wraps up at the end. So I think you could technically stop there. But then the second book is also about the two of them, about Devon and Maddox, but the third is about the older brothers, and I really want to read that one. So I think that just because I want to read the older brothers' love story, because they're obviously going to fall in love with each other, like that. Like, what else could happen? I think I'm going to continue the trilogy. Not right now, though, but I think I'll continue the trilogy just because I want to reach the third book so I can see, like, Nate's and Xavier's love story. So that one was really good. I also gave it like 3.5 stars. Really good book. And then what did I read next? I have a post-it here with every book, but so far I haven't needed it. Okay, so yeah, okay, I remember my next read. So while I was reading these 3 books that I just talked about, so the two sports college romances and this one, I was also buddy reading with a friend the second book in the Emily Wilde trilogy, Emily Wilde Map of the Other Lands. This is called, like the second one is called. And we were buddy reading it throughout a week, 50 pages a day. That's why I was combining it with the other 3 books. I read 4 books in a week, and I'm telling you that I was in a reading slump, but I'm in like in the weirdest reading mood. I'll talk about it. I talk about it in the blog that I am recording right now. So if you're interested, go like stay tuned for that. But yeah, so we were buddy reading that book, and as I was reading the other 3, and it's really good. The second book in Emily White is also really good. I gave it 4.5 stars. I liked it a little bit less than I liked the first. The first I gave 4.75 stars, so there's barely a difference, but it's there. It's less cozy than the first. Like, this trilogy is classified as cozy fantasy, and I 100% agree with that statement. Like, it is cozy fantasy, but the first one was cozier. The second one was more high stakes. And I don't know, I liked it, and it kept me intrigued, and it made me want to continue. And yeah, and it hooks you. But at the same time, I think I missed some of like the coziness and the slowliness of the first book. I don't know, but I really liked it. Still, and yeah, and I really like the way she writes. And also, I listened to a little bit of the audiobook for this second one, and I love the narrator. If you like listening to audiobooks, or if you don't have the time and you have this trilogy and like your on your mind, and but you don't have the time, then grab the audiobook, because the narrator who does this. She's British and she has this really posh accent, which Emily is from Cambridge. So that's how but in my head, I cannot, when I'm reading in my head, I cannot recreate the English accent. I think I have more of like an American accent, even though I mean, I have a Spanish accent because that's where I'm from. But if I had to say, like, I think my accent resembles more an American one than an English one, obviously. And the fact that a really poshy British woman was narrating it to me elevated it so much. So if you're if you are curious, grab the audiobooks because it's really good. And afterwards, I finished Garon Park and I just wanted something similar, but I wanted to try to slowly but surely get out of like this weird mode in which I didn't want to pick up a fantasy book so I could pick up Fearless. Like I wanted to set myself back up to read a fantasy. So I decided to start reading the Captive Prince trilogy by C.S. Pacat. Because I don't know, is that fantasy? I don't know. How do you call when it's a made up universe with made up countries, made up laws, made up societies, but there's no magic, nowhere to be seen? Is that a fantasy? Is that a medieval book? Because it's set in like European medieval setting, you know? And is that a made up historical romance? Is that what is it? What is it? Made up everything, but there's no magic. Is that fantasy? I don't know. But that's the setting of this book. And this book starts with a coup d'état in one of there's two kingdoms that are we are mainly focusing on. So in one of them, the king dies, and the bastard son of the king makes a coup d'état and pretends to kill his brother, who is the rightful heir to the throne, since the other brother is not a bastard. Um, but instead of killing him, what he does is make him into a slave and send him to the other kingdom to be the slave of the prince there. And the prince there is about to become 21, which is the age in which he is supposed to inherit the throne from the regent that is currently governing, because his father and his older brother both died. So he's the heir, but his uncle is acting as regent until he becomes 21. And it's the relationship. This prince from the other country, the one that is sold as a slave to the prince of the other one, they are called Damon and Laurent. So Damon actually killed Laurent's older brother. So Laurent hates the other country in general, but especially the prince. So it's like he cannot know that I'm the prince because he hates me. If he finds out that that I'm acting as his slave, I'm actually the prince that killed his brother, then he's going to kill me. So he cannot find out, and I need to escape. And it's all of these 3 books. I'm currently finishing the third, so I didn't get to finish it in April. I'll finish it in May, and it will be my first book of May. But I gave the first book 4 stars and the second book 4.25, and I think the third is going to be probably like around there as well. So far, I'm 70% through, and I think I'm going to give it, either a 4 or a 4.25 stars. It's a good trilogy, I would say. Interesting, easy to read, quick, no brain energy required. Are you seeing like a pattern here of what I was in the mood for after I finished Sunrise on the Reaping? Yeah. So it's good, and since it's set in like a different world and everything, it does feel a little bit more complicated than a regular romance, and it has a little bit of politic intrigue. It's reminding me a little bit, like you need to squint your eyes for this resemblance to make sense, but it's reminding me of Game of Thrones, kind of. A little bit at times, yeah, because of like all the political intrigue and people betraying each other. And I would say that Laurent's kingdom reminds me of the Lannisters and King's Landing, and then Damon's kingdom reminds me of the Starks and Winterland, Invernalia, Winterland. How was the Starks? Region called Winterland? No. I don't know. Oh my god, okay. Any fucking way. I read Game of Thrones in English last year and I cannot remember the name. But anyway, yeah. So if you're looking for something like that, like you want something that gives off like really, yeah, like Game of Thrones, but make it gay and make it like an enemies to lovers between the Starks and the Lannisters. Like if that sounds vaguely interesting to you, pick this trilogy up because you will not regret it. And as I was reading these books, I picked up the audiobook for Hunting Adeline, and here is our DNF of the month. Could not make it through. I could not stand anybody, not her, not him, obviously, not their friends, not anybody here. Like what was happening? No, not for me, but not because of the dark romance. I'm okay with the dark romance part. They were all so insufferable. Their ego, oh my god, like how can they fit through doors with egos so big? That's my question. How do they get up in the mornings without the weight of their egos pressing them down into the bed? I do not know. That's what should be explained here. I was bigly intrigued by the all the plot that on his part of like the human trafficking and everything. That's what kept me going up until 50% when I said, yeah, not even that is carrying me through this book anymore. I just cannot, will not tolerate this. Like, how is it? I know he's called Sade Meadows, but because his book is so big on TikTok, but how is it that I got to 50% of that book without being told his name? And how is it no? How is it that he sees her in a freaking library and he thinks she's so pretty that he's going to stalk her? I swear to God, I lost faith in this book. I decided to DNF when I found out that the reason was that, simply that. There was no other reason for him to stalk her or for him to be obsessed with her, just that she's pretty and that he saw her in a bookstore. That's the whole reason why this book exists. And I was so put off by that because if that's all that it takes for him to start stalking a woman, then he must have been stalking women for all his fucking life. Every time he runs into an attractive woman, he must have stalked her, right? Because if that's all it takes, like I swear to God, I thought that he liked her books or that I don't know, he knew her from somewhere. That I swear to God, I had such high hopes that there was a deeper reason for the stalking, but there's not. It's just that she's pretty. That's why he's stalking her, and that leaves me to wonder: what about every other single pretty woman, an attractive woman that exists on this earth? Are you also going to stalk them? How does that make sense? How is that? How? And also, he's a really bad stalker. Like, he hasn't read any of her books. If you're going to stalk a writer, I think that you should start by reading her books, right? And then she's really into Halloween and to being scared and everything that is a thing for her. He doesn't know this. How do you have microphones and cameras on her house, but you do not know that she likes Halloween? They end up going to the same party in Halloween just by sheer coincidence, because he needs to go there for this plot that I'm telling you about, like the human trafficking thingy that he's investigating. Like, you call yourself a stalker. That's like the first thing she tells you about herself in the book, and he doesn't. They end up in the same party by sheer coincidence. How does that make sense? How did that? I don't know. I wasn't believing it, and like, yeah, I cannot suspend my belief. Is that how you say it in English? I just wasn't buying it. Their egos were putting me off so much. Like, I no, a little bit of, they need to be humbled a little bit, like just quite a bit, for me to stand them. And the plot and the reason why he stalks her, I don't know, nothing was making sense for me. So not for me. If you enjoy the book, then good for you. I mean, it's entertaining. I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't buy it. No. So I decided to DNF that one. But recently, I don't know, I always want to have an audiobook with me. So I decided to DNF that one, but I didn't have an audiobook to listen to since I DNF'd that one. And I am going to go to book club in May, and I need to read book club's book, obviously. And this month's book club, I'm obsessed. I'm so happy that this is happening to me. I feel like a sign from the heavens because this month's book for book club was Unhinged by Only James. And do you know, like you're seeing the cover, what else do I need to say? But do you want to know what this book is about? It's an romance, which if you've heard me talking in this video, whatever, like romance, that's it. About a serial killer who's a psychopath. And it's a really big family, 7 kids, all of them psychopaths, all of them serial killers. And you have a book for each brother. And they only kill bad people, kind of like the same deal as with Hunting Adeline, but actually funny and actually, and I yeah, and it was book club's book. So I was like, okay, let me find this masterpiece that is hidden out there that I didn't know about. And I found the ebook and I also found the audiobook, and that saved my life. So I listened to that in like 2 days. Amazing. I gave it 3 stars though. Amazing, but a 3 stars. I do not rate these books very high either way. Like I wouldn't, I don't know. It has to be quite something for me to give these books, this kind of book, more than 4 stars. But what put me off a little bit from this book was the insta-love trope. It was a little bit too much for me. Too insta-love. Like, there are 2 days, they've known each other, they've been talking for 2 days, and they are already in a relationship. And then a week into the relationship, well, a week into knowing each other, and 4 days, therefore, after getting into a relationship, they are already in love. And I was like, okay, no, maybe not. Maybe not do that. But if you don't look at that too closely, really good book. Also, I didn't like, they repeated quite a few times throughout the book that they've only known each other for like a couple days or a week or something. They are always telling you them, the main characters and the side characters as well. Like, everybody's like, but you've known each other for 2 days, and they are like, yeah, but we love each other, we don't care, we are each other's person, we just know, when you know, you know. And I'm like, yeah, well, you may know now that you're horny, but give yourselves a month at least. But yeah, also spicy romance, obviously. The Captive Prince, I didn't say, it has a few spicings. It has one spicy thing in the second book, and so far from what I've read in the third, I've read 2, but they are not too graphic. Like, they are more poetic than graphic. The other books, it's really graphic, everything. But yeah, I'm currently reading the second book in the series of the Unhinged book. The series is called Necessary Evils, and I'm currently reading the second book, obviously, because what else? What else? It's also insta-love, though, so I fear that every book here is going to be insta-love trope, which is not my favorite. But I'm okay. I can look past it just for the sakes of it being really fun and easy to read, and just what I need right now, that I don't feel like picking up a fantasy book. And yeah, so that has been my April reads. 11, well, 11, 10 and a half, 11, I don't know, 10, I don't know, 10 plus books that I've read in April. I'm hoping to get out of this weird reading mood in the beginning of May, and that I can go back to reading fantasy, because as much as I enjoy these romances, as I said, it's very hard for me to rate them more than 4 stars. They're fun, but they are not going to stay with me for the rest of my life. Whereas a fantasy book has the potential to do that. So even though I'm having like the best time reading these books, and now that I found this series, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm hoping to slowly but surely get back into reading more serious books and more fantasy. I want to read Fearless, and I would love to read Magnolia Parks Into the Dark. And I don't know, there's already up, like the book of my May TBR is already up. I chose it with the little prompts from the TBR jar. So if you want to know what's on my, like, what's more of a priority for me throughout this month, go check out that video. And I'll see you all next week with a new one. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and everything else that you're supposed to do. And I'll see you all guys in the next one. Bye.